Hello, Junk Journal, January 2025 folk. Woohoo! Take two. So I've got a bunch of stuff here. This is the Pink Monarch Prints Bingo Parlor. And I thought that's what I would play with today. Again, because I'm a little obsessed right now that I've got bits and pieces cut out and everything else. So that's the idea I have for what we're going to do. So again, more of a actual junk journal page. I'm going to put these here because we're going to talk about them. And I have put some of the bits and pieces in look at all. I mean, that's just a fraction of the kit, y'all. Anyway. So here's where we were yesterday. We did this, finished this one. And again, that was using a Pink Monarch Prints as well. And that's why I think I'm kind of in the realm. I am really loving how this book is coming together. So that's very exciting. I do want to make some pockets, some more tags to go in here for sure. And here's my question to you. Do you guys put photos in your books? Photos. I feel like I should put a photo every few, not every few pages, but once in a while. So that can be the question. Answer in the comments, do you like putting photos in your junk journals / art journals? So here's where we are. We are now on to day 16. Woohoo! Caught up a little bit. Today's the 20th. Unfold. And I looked at my next page, right? Like here's the page, here's the flip. And that's very pretty, blah, blah. And then, of course, the very next page unfolds. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to skip over to this page. So this will be page 16, unfold, because it just seems silly to waste that. This was a piece of a bag, and I'm trying to think what company it came from. But I just love the print. I just thought that was a great start. And actually, we're going to do a 2-4 because 17 is, 17 is fragile. So I thought I would do fragile here because this paper kind of looks fragile. And this is actually a bit of a leaf that's fragile. So I thought I would do fragile here. But 18 is bright. I don't like the idea of skipping. Oh, I won't skip. I'll work on 16 today, but I want to do 18 here because that's just silliness. That's just bright. It's begging to just be bright. So this is going to be, I'm going to work on unfold today. And I just want to say, it's funny that I said 2-4. So in Quebec, I don't know if it's all of Canada, but in Quebec anyway, a 2-4 is 24 beer. And that always made my husband laugh that we would go, yeah, we're going to pick up a 2-4. And they'd be like, what? Well, 24 beer. Anyway, 2 cases of beer. So, yeah. Molson, preferably. So here we go. Let's work on this. So I have pulled out these digis, as I've said. And I'm thinking, one of the things I was thinking about, and I'm going to put this super heavy clip. Look at my super heavy. This clip, I don't know where I got it. I think someone gave it to me. Actually, look how heavy. It's so heavy, but it's so great for this when the book gets just absolutely unwieldy. But I thought what I would do is, I like the idea of a belly band, and the only thing that I'm concerned about is because it's a flip out page, that stuff will fly out of it. I think it's much, like when a belly band's here, you're still turning, but it's not the same to me as flipping. Okay, so then I thought, I do want to do some kind of interactive something. And so I was also thinking of maybe doing another fold out. I was thinking, again, the belly band idea, maybe not so much. I did really like the idea of making an envelope or 2. And even if they don't go in there. And then I had this idea, but I kind of tossed it away. I'll put those to the side here. So this is one of the components that comes in that kit. This is the Pink Monarch Prints May 2024 Bingo Parlor. And I've got a video that shows sort of a flip through of the 29 pages I printed. the kit comes with something like 50 some odd pages. But anyway, this is one of the pages, and it was on one sheet. But the idea being you do this, and then you stack these two. These aren't all the way cut out. And then you put this tag, and then you put this here. So I liked the idea of doing something like that. And then, of course, the only thing is that's kind of what I just did on the previous page. So I kind of nixed that. I'm kind of bringing you into my thought process a little to give you some ideas, because you might go, oh, yeah, that doesn't work for you, but that would work great for me. Be fun to do this as an open and then have something behind it. So you're getting the idea. I love that tag. And maybe I'd do something postcardish. There's all kinds of butterflies and things, but again, it's, 23 degrees here right now, so I'm not feeling very, look at that, postcardish. So I really love these too, but then I'm thinking fragile. This might be a great one. One of the next post is fragile. And I have to say, when I got up to fragile in the ICAD index card a day, I didn't get past that word, even though I did come up with an idea in my head. I kind of got a bit blocked for some reason. The other thing I was thinking of is to take one of these, and instead of creating, like, this is obviously meant to be, a folder, and they encourage you to print on the other side. I like having the freedom to design on the fly, so I don't usually print on the other side. I do have one, but I haven't come across it. But I was thinking instead I could use this and like as a pocket, and then it doesn't matter what's on that side. That could be white, and then that would be the fold up, and then decorate this. So it would be a pocket fold, or maybe this way, even though. So that's another idea I had, and I really love these. Really love these. I think that would make a fabulous belly band, right? That would be a fabulous belly band. And I'm wondering if that needs to go on the inside. The other thing also is I don't want to do too many layered things, because number one, that makes for a bigger page. And number two, my book is already getting quite chunky. So much potential. All right. Now that I've given you insight into the so much potential, so I just love that. I could just glue that down and be done, because then I could just, pet it as I go by. Bingo Parlor is the kit name. So let me wrangle my thoughts, and I'll be back. So this is what I'm thinking. I've got this page, journal page. I'm thinking that could be my background. I cut it down and it fits pretty well. There's a bit of extra, but that just means I could put washi tape, which I love my washi. This would be a pocket, and then these two pop in here, and then I will zhuzh up the background. The idea of postcard. And I do want to write some thoughts down. My mom's in the hospital, and I thought admission, I could journal about some of her story. And then on the postcard part, I could write a postcard to her. She's okay. She's just sort of stalled there for now, waiting for a new room. I like the idea of doing that. And then some washi tape down the side. I'm going to distress that. So let me cut these out and figure out some backings, and then I will be back. So here's where I'm at. I've distressed these and cut these out. And I'm going to show you one of my tricks for gluing down these big pages in a journal. I've got a couple of glues here. And again, I'm reaching for my stash. I was on the Top Flight design team, and we carried a lot of these products. And I also did some work for Thermoweb, and I do love, love, love their products. In fact, one of my favorite glues is called Ultra Bond, and I'm out of it. And some glues you can't buy in the winter because they freeze. This is quite old, so we'll see if this works. Like, by quite old, I mean 5 or 6 years old. So what I like to do for pages like this see how I can do this and be videotaped. And I'm gonna get a, okay, look at that. Okay, that needs to go on a page, guys. Should we just glue it right down? Look at that. Okay, that's my new goal, is to use that page. I'll use the back for now. So, forgot my train of thought. So funny. I went back to watch the video to figure out my train of thought. And every time I watched the video, I got distracted by the shiny paper. Squirrel. So my thought was, what I do for pages like this, I take my glue, and again, Ultra Bond is my favorite for this. I don't know why. It just sort of has the right amount of water glue ratio, and it's very strong. In fact, it's great for covers if you want to glue covers. But I will take a heavier, because again, if you use too fluid, you get the wrinkles. I'll take a little bit of a heavier mixed media, and I'll put it in sort of a bit of a glob into at the top and at halfway through. Then I take one of these big scrapers. This one is by Thermoweb. I think it's called Scrape Pal, something like that. And I'm gonna slide the glue down all the way and make sure, and that's why I like putting it on a wax paper surface, because you want the glue to go past, like over the edges. And then I'll put it down, and then I use the other side to smooth it down. So now you know the process. And sometimes what I'll do is just go up a bit. I can already tell I don't have enough glue. Don't have enough, well, maybe. Because one of the things that we don't want, and then you try not to move it around, because obviously when you go over the edges, you end up getting glue. So I want to try and keep my paper there so the glue on the edges doesn't get on the front side. Although, I mean, it won't damage it. It'll just, you know, have shiny spots. Okay, so then I take that lovely glued page and I come along, and I'm going to leave some room for my washi tape. Line that up. Looks pretty good. Put it down gently. And then, and while I'm doing that, I hope you're playing along with me. And while we're doing that, we're going to breathe. And let the woes of the world disappear in our crafty space. So the only thing is I missed a spot. Oh yeah, and then I told you I do this as well. And I do. I use that side. So sticky side, and then of course you end up with glue all over your hands, but I think that's pretty normal. Okay. Love it. And then when that dries, it's a little wrinkly right now, but when it dries, it should dry fairly flat. And then you do want to wash this. Okay. Great. So we need some washi tape, but what I'm going to do first, potentially, get my art glitter glue. So we are a cold and icy day today. And my goal today is I'm going to get this page done. Well, that's not, again, I'm trying to reframe the way I'm saying that, because I don't want to get this done. I want to enjoy my time. I'm going to have a bit of playtime. How's that? And then I'm going to purge, because I'm purging my whole house, not just my craft room. But I was going to go into, my husband works in the basement. Today's a day off, so I was going to go work in the basement where my Project Life area is, and we have all kinds of toys that still need to be gone through and gotten rid of from the kidlets when they were younger, and all that good stuff. All the purging. You know, if you're younger and you're watching this, here's my hot tip for life. Don't buy stuff. I say as I open a new package of stuff. But just don't. Try and limit yourself, because then you get to a certain point where you just start throwing it all out and getting rid of it. And it's just ridiculous. And yeah, just don't. Travel the world. Build your retirement funds. And don't buy a bunch of stuff. That's my hot tip, because especially when it comes to toys and stuff, I think one of the issues was my kids, they didn't appreciate the toys because, and again, there was reasons for overspending on toys, some trauma issues with that. But looking back on it and the amount of toys that I'm just giving away and the amount of money, it just literally makes me sick. And it's not money, cash money. It was put on a credit card and let's finance this Buzz Lightyear for 50 years. That'll be a great idea. So pay cash. Now, apparently, I am going to give you financial advice. This is my financial channel while we scrapbook or while we junk journal. Where does this start? So let me pause my TED Talk again, my TED Talk part 2. This is all in Create Washi Tape. It's so funky cool. If you can see that. And it's number 122. Sienna Mailing is the name of it. Just kind of have to get them started. Especially when they're the postmarks ones, because they're perforated, so you kind of have to go carefully. They don't always make the best. How fun is that? I think I'm going to just do that. So yeah, that's my TED Talk. Oh my gosh, because here's the thing, the kids, I feel like looking back, they were overwhelmed. There was too much. They played with them, they mixed sets, all the good things, and they did have great imaginations. And they played with their toys longer than, potentially other kids did, which was good. I mean, I think it's good to try and stay a kid as long as you can. But, however, it was silly. It got to the point when I realized, and again, there's reasons for it. I was overcompensating for many different things. Just don't. Just don't. Have some toys out. I missed the spot where I was. I was here. Have some toys out and then let them play with them. And then when they get bored of them, put those away, pull out some other. That was one of the really great advice I got it was way too late for me at the time, but it was sort of have a few containers of toys, and then when they get bored of those toys, you just swap out with a few more containers that you have in your cupboard or whatever. And then that way, you're rotating the toys and you don't have to buy a lot. And they think, oh, look, these are new and fresh. Isn't that exciting? I know it's hard because we live in such a consumer nation and your kids are very, very persuasive. And this is another one which I thought would be fun because it has the directional, but I'm liking those 3. And then maybe I'll put a skinnier, this is what we need. So it's not too far away. It's my I want to go to London mug that a friend bought me the mug, and I want to keep it on my desk so I can look at it. And it's my washi tape mug. Okay, that's what I need right there. I'm just going to tear a bit of that. Don't want to cover up the I'm going to be very fancy and just tear it instead of cutting it. And then what I think I'll do is I'll stamp on this. I've sort of been sort of watching Gail Augustinelli, and it's a video from about 9 days ago, and it's a craft with me, and she's stamping clusters. And I really liked that idea. So then the other thing I'm going to do, which I've talked about, but I haven't shown, what I like to do with washi tape is to glue down the washi. And just to create sort of a protective layer. And again, this is Deco Art. Americana decoupage. So I'll just do that. And this way it doesn't come up. So yeah. All right, we're going. Now then, I like it. So I want to do this. I want a paper to go on the other side of this from the kit. So the other thing I pulled out, which I don't know if this will go, but again, it's snowy here and frosty. And I thought, wonder, this is brand new from 49th and Market. I wonder if I could put some of this, even though, you know, this isn't snowy. This is very, I like the idea. And then maybe I can put some snow pictures, or I like the idea of incorporating that. Can I do that even? Cold and frosty. These rub-ons are fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Yeah, they are by Katie Petite. Pull in some blue. That might be nice because there is blue here, and then it would be kind of contrasty as well. Time to bundle up. It's cold outside. Oh, that would look so good there. Are you getting crazy amounts of glare? That, I think I have to do that. Or it's a snow day. No, it's freezing cold here. So we're supposed to go down to like 6. Oh dear. Which, that's not Canada cold. My brother in Montreal, and they're supposed to go down to -20. So that's cold. 6 is chilly. But if you live around here, it's cold. Okay, I do like that. So how do I want it up here? So it's kind of, yeah, I think I like it up here. And it does conveniently kind of line up on the lines. Yes. Love when a plan comes together. I'm trying to do this casually so I don't shake the camera. So I have no plans to go outside today. Actually, that's not true. I want to go to the gym later. I want to drag myself out to go to the gym. I'm trying to work out more. I kind of fell off my exercise. I've only fallen off for over Christmas, and then I got back on the exercise horse. And then the last week, I haven't done as much, but I've been getting a lot of steps because I've been purging. Just want to make sure nothing critical. I lost my eye. No, it looks good. How fun is that? Again, let's mix and match. And then I do like the idea of putting some snowflakes. So these sets come with 2. Seeing how the glare is. All right. I really like those, but I don't think those go so much. It is frosty. So maybe if I were to put, oh, and this is fun. This is a postmark that kind of goes. Maybe if I did frosty with that postmark. And then one of my good friends is sending pictures of herself from the beach. I'm like, why am I not at the beach? So not able to do that at this juncture. In fact, I might be going back to Montreal to see my mother. And not this week, though, because I value my life. And listen, I don't have snowflakes on me for a reason. I have sun and bumblebees. Okay. Good. That's kind of fun. Oh, that's coming up. I missed a spot. And then I'm going to do Frosty. I don't know that Frosty's going to show up that well. So maybe what I'll do, if I do it, there's like this spot, space is a little lighter. Yeah, I like that there. Again, try not to be too fussy. Oh yeah, you can really see if you do it this way. I can see through to what it would end up looking like. Sure. Sure, sounds good. So here's where I'm at. It's very subtle on camera, but it's more noticeable. I think the light, yeah, it's more noticeable to the eye. And so now let's zhuzh that up a bit. I have pulled out some stamps and blast from the past, 7 Gypsies. Oh my gosh, what a great company. What a tragedy that that company is not around making new product anyway, I don't believe. And then I found these hands, which, yeah, let's put a hand, right? That would be fun. And holy smokes, these are old. This is when I first got started. These are probably 20 years old. And Inka Dinka Doo. I thought that flourish would be great there. So again, let's see if it comes off. Yes, it does. Okay. Sometimes what happens if you have these and they're super old, they will not come off the block. Oh my gosh, I don't have my watch on. That's not good because it tracks my movements. And I'm on a roll, like 250-day roll of moving. I don't want to lose my, but I am going to work out, so that'll help. So I am going to use, I want this one to be clear, fairly clear, so I'm going to use my VersaFine Clair in Pinecone. And I need my little book. So I want a solid surface. But how did I want this? Yeah, I wanted this way. Kind of want it coming out of the top. Like that. Nice. I like it. Okay, and then I'm going to do the other trick I did the other day, which worked quite well, which is to have a stamp block that I just pop all the stamps on and clean them at the end. So that is fun. I am really liking that. And now what I'm going to do, I thought January. I need to put January somewhere. This is, again, an old, super old one. I don't even know what company. Oh, and I thought I really like the idea of putting some numbers in a couple of places. And I'm just going to do the lightish finger technique. Oh, I thought I almost did that crooked. I moved at the last second. 1, 2. Yes. Uh-oh, we might be hitting the too much zone. I don't know, is that possible? And now that I found these, I'm definitely going to have to use some of these. They don't seem to be sticking to the blocks very well. Love these stars. And then that would go great. I'm going to just peel them off camera because the glare is real. All right. And I should do it in blue, but I'm not going to. Or red, but I'm not gonna. Oop. That's messy. All right. I like it. I like it. I like it. That might be enough. It's too much. I know it's too much, but I kind of love it. Recording over the crinkle sound. As Seth Apter says, more is more, and I have always subscribed to that, and I just keep adding. I have to put some script because you know how I love the script. There's already script there. Maybe a little bit at the top. So I never did get around to making my box of necessities that's going to sit on my desk, which is I talked about it, about putting stamps I always reach for, like the script stamp, the music note stamp, which this is a great set, this old Seven Gypsies, because it has everything. Look, script, typeset, music note, script, typeset. This is one of my favorite just in general, adventure. Oh, that's a cool star too. All right. I think that's good enough though. I think we've crapped that up enough. Don't you? Now, I'm going to set this aside and I am going to work on these things. Oh my goodness, my playtime is going too far because I have to get stuff done. So I've covered the backs of these and I just use scraps of scrapbook paper. Isn't that fun? That's an emboss one. They're both old pieces of paper. But because I know I want to put photos on the back, and what I'd like to do, I do want to sew on this one. I've put my bits and pieces in this box. I also want to stamp that hand, but I put the bits and pieces from the kit in the box. And so, I would love to add this, even though I think you just sort of follow the lines. Oh. Light. Let's see which way it goes. I just love envelopes and things. So I'm not sure which way it goes. Probably this way, right? Yeah, that's what I would think. Oh, wait, that's upside down. Maybe not. I mean, it can go whichever way you want. That's upside down, but then this is right side. I'm thinking it goes this way. Right side up. That's fun. And then what I like to do with these is put something like that to be the closure. And then you just tuck that behind that. Hot tip. But what I want to find for this right now, as I throw my other card, I want to find a tab for this. And also a little image to put. Oh, I'm thinking that right there. This comes with a sheet of these black and white images. Okay, this is Bingo Parlor. That's why I was like, why is there no snow? It's just fun. Isn't it just fun to rifle through these? I have to say, there was a really great video. I'm not sure I mentioned it. I may have mentioned it here's another envelope. And I was realizing, I think this would fit in that. If you trim the sides down, that would fit nicely in that. Pull those out just for fun. So Kathleen Mower, and again, if you're following along at all with the junk journal or declutter Organized 2025, Kathleen Mower. I'm just thinking first. Yes, Kathleen Mower. Her first video she did was about how she organizes her scraps. So stuff like this. And I really liked it. So what she's done is she's taken boxes and made boxes that each one is a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller. And she stacks her ephemera in these different boxes. And it's quite clever the way she does it. So anyway, that's my hot organizational tip today. All right, I'm going to rifle through this. The other thing is I really do want, and why don't I just do that now, seeing how, I kind of like that there. But I do want a tab, and there might not be a tab. I might not have printed it out. There's usually always tabs in their Pink Monarch kits, but I may not have printed it out because, as I said, I didn't print out all the pages. Go to this and get a scrapbook piece of paper. That's working for me, having that little magnetic fun thing close by. That is working for me. All right, and I think I'll do this in, I want it to go, I'm going to do it in black. I want it to go on the cover, like at the bottom of the pocket. And I think I'll do a couple. Yeah, so see, here's sometimes when you, I got a comment the other day about my stamping is really good. So number one, tons of practice, right? Like years and years and years of practice. But number two, part of that is the practice with, for example, each stamp's different. The inks are different. They interact differently. So like this one is pressed down more and you can see how it's kind of blurry. Whereas this one, perfect image. So yeah, perfect image. And then this one, not so much, but still, I would still use that on a page. And now I have a bunch of hands and I can put them somewhere clever. I can show you one of my organizational things. I'm going to take this one. So that's going to go on the front cover. So this is, I made this following Gail Augustinelli, and it's a fabulous ephemera keeper. I have bought a couple of them, and I have made a couple of them, like the Pink Monarch print one I made, and this one is super chunky and big and luscious. And at the front, and this is only for stamped images, so this has, again, a little bit of organizational Tim Holtz. Now here's the challenge. Paper Artsy, some of my faves. Carabelle Studio, Sad Face, They Don't Exist Anymore, Dina, Journal Spots. So Heidi, Swap. I'll be real. One of the challenges I have is I tend to put, this is just going to go in miscellaneous because that stamp set is kind of a no brand, no name stamp set. Or this is for companies too that I don't have that many. Like these little girls are so cute. So one of my challenges though, I realize with this and why it's so chunky is I put stuff in it, but I don't go to it to take things out of it. Like I need to do that more. I need to go more to this and find, I do like that. Find the things that'll work. I also realized I have tabs. I might have tabs in here. But it's also fun to just, you know, go through. Stamperia, look at that. Embossed. And yeah, this is part of my issue. I don't know about yours, but I get distracted. I don't end up doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, I quite like that there. Storyteller. Yes, I'm going to switch that out. I like that. I'm going to put this, I'm going to just adhere that down a little piece of this one. It's time for Wicked Fun. No idea what stamp set that came from. Tim. Just makes me happy. As I said, I was watching Gail Augustinelli today as I do this, and one of the things she was like, she's like finding her joy. This is kind of pulling up. And she was talking about in her video that, I don't know, I haven't watched a lot of her videos lately. I have to kind of catch up. But I don't know, I think she's maybe made a decision that she's going to play with things that bring her joy. And whatever it was she was going to do that day, she didn't feel the joy. So she switched and she went and did something that brought her joy. And I thought that's such a great idea. So this is stitched, but you can see, I'm just gonna add a bit of glue. Squirrel, totally distracted. I know, let's make one of these. That's the way my brain works. And so I do need to put a title there or something that says, but I mean, I know what it is. I know to reach for it. Let's do another hot tip. I'll give you 27 hot tips today. If you take a water brush, bring that down a bit, and so say I want to do the edges, you just bring the water brush along, and then you can tear along the wet. Because the thing about, if you're working with tissue, it will get, depending on the tissue, not all tissue papers, this is just tissue for wrapping or whatever. They're not all created equally, and it's funny, I find the cheaper ones tend to be more translucent. So like if you get the 90 million roll from Costco, when you glue it down, it'll be more translucent. So if I want my edges a little sketchy, and I know you can't see this super well because, hey, it's translucent. I know one of the prompts coming up is a tissue, and I'm very excited by that because I have a ton of tissue and I need to use it. I tell you, I do it every once in a while, but I have so many good tissues that I want to use. Then you just take some decoupage glue and my mud water over here. That is my paintbrush. I do have a designated glue brush just because it does tend to wreck your brushes. And you have to kind of so this is how I do it. I glue down on the spot and then on the tissue. And I find that works really well if you want the translucent look. I don't know why. You do have to be a little gentle because the tissue is fragile and it will stick to this. And then you usually put it down and press from the middle outwards. Oh, look at that. And then it's translucent. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So this technique is great if you have a surface you can't stamp on. Yes, I like that. And then I've left room, I can put thread. And then I'll leave this, it's hard, I want to put some, like I said, what I could do is just do one of these. I don't have a lot of room, although I want a tab on the side with a dangle. And the reason why, again, Gail has been she's been putting, and I love doing this, and I have done this recently, but she has been putting eyelets. And I like that idea. I could even take this and make my own. Oh, let's do that. Oh, let's do it. Okay, yeah. We're gonna make a tab. Okay, I like that. And the only thing I want to make sure I put it high enough so it doesn't interfere with the pocket. So let's do that. So you can see how you can get lost in these kits. And I'm just going to kind of sketchily, I don't know if you can hear the helicopter. It's kind of funny, my neighbor is a helicopter pilot, and sometimes he will drive by, and so his daughters can wave to him. I mean, how freaking cute is that? And you can usually tell because he kind of hovers, I mean, mostly helicopters are trying to go from A to B. So if there's usually a helicopter that's kind of hanging out a bit, it's usually my neighbor. So that's fun. All right. And then it doesn't matter. I don't have to make it even, right? I just want to have it hanging off enough that it has somewhere to grip. But I want to get that one there. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving this, I tell you. Love it when a plan comes together. So yes, I feel as though I'm procrastinating and putting off the basement purge a tiny bit. And the workout and all the things. Because this is, let's face it, this is fun. Just want to make sure I get enough that it can hang on to that side. Okay. That's going to be cool. And before I punch a hole, I am going to let that set up a bit, because if I were to punch it, I should have distressed this first. If I were to punch it when it's wet, I'll potentially won't get, it'll tear the paper. And yeah, I am doing this. I'm just crunching that up. Use a little bit of spit to clean that off. Okay, that's going to be fun. So let's see where we're at. I did put these in a page protector. These are my bits and pieces from Bingo Parlor. And yeah, I feel like I'm doing 5 different organizational systems for some things. Okay, love it. So let's just get the eyelid on there. And I will sew that, and I will be back. I have done it. I've sewn, kind of looks patchy on the back, but that's okay. I don't know. Washi tape, the everlasting solution. So I put the brad in with my handy dandy crocodile, and I've got all these little threads. So I want to leave some of the threads. I skipped over admissions. So of course now I realize it's going to look funny on the back. But again, washi tape. That's what washi tape's for. Covers all of the little boo-boos. So, but I'd like to keep some of them. I skipped over this. I could have done whatever. But I did. I just wanted, I thought it would look better if it was. So I guess the idea being you should sew this before. I mean, yeah, sew it before, because then I could have just glued that on top. Would have made it easier. Okay. And I think that's going to be it. Oh, the hand. We need the hand. So, but that's, I'm loving that. I'm very tempted to sew this as well, or put a tab on there, but we'll see. And let me get the hand. So I am going to, even though the stamp doesn't go all the way, I'm going to kind of zhuzh that. And then the only question is, where do we put it? And I will add a little bit of distressing. So the kids have a day off today, so there's all kinds of squealing and hooting and hollering at the hill. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. And then I think it makes it make more sense if it comes out of that line, or it comes out of, I think that looks good, just like that. This is the last step. And then, I don't know, hopefully I'll put photos at some point. We'll see. I do sometimes come back, as if you're watching my videos, you see that, I'll be like, oh, I added that. I added something to this page. Oh, I just love that. I love it. I absolutely love it. Love it, love it. I would put a charm, but I've put a couple of charms already, so I'm not going to. I'm calling that done. So let's go over. And 16, I had actually prematurely ticked it off. Got a little ahead of myself because I thought of my plan. So 16 is unfold. Now I realize too, though, that it's not really, I didn't incorporate the unfold, but I'm going to call that done. It's fine. I'm done. I'm done. I really like how that goes really well with that. So then, now we have to start thinking about fragile, I believe, was the next one. Fragile is going to go here. And again, I'm thinking of those little fairy wings, fairy people. So we'll see. But that's it for today, gang. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're playing along. I hope you get a chance to de-stress today with some art. Y'all have a great day. Bye.